Hi, this is Stuart, and I've created this video to show you a quick kind of equation or a formula, you might say, for writing introductions in the workplace. I've put this together because introductions in workplace writing are much different than what you've probably been taught in school. There are a couple things to keep in mind about when you're writing at work. One is if people read, they're not reading for the pleasure of it at work. They're reading because they've got to accomplish something. There's some task that they have to have done. There's a dilemma they have to solve, something like that. So when busy readers start reading, they want to know right away, what are they reading, and is this document going to help them do what they need to do? Given that, I would suggest a kind of equation for informal introductions, and that would be situation, tasks, and preview. That's, if you might remember, STP. The introduction should do these three things, and let me show you how that works. Now, you might want to take a minute and pause this and read this paragraph. This is an introduction that could work in a workplace setting, so take a minute to read it. Now, in that previous paragraph, remember it's situation, tasks, previews. So the first thing is the situation, and that means you need to let the reader know what situation you're referring to. And in the case of that paragraph that we looked at, the situation that the writer was dealing with was the state stockpiling so much contaminated soil that it must consider ways to dispose of it safely. So that, just a one-sentence statement, this is the situation that I'm referring to. Sometimes when you're writing like a memo to someone who asked you for something, the second bulleted item I offer here, this is a writer just reminding the reader, hey, you asked me to determine the computing needs of the engineering staff. It's a reminder, this is the situation that I'm referring to. The next step is tasks. Okay, given the situation, what did you do? Going back to that original paragraph that I showed you, this paragraph, given that the state has stockpiled so much contaminated soil, that is the situation. You can see the first bulleted item is the task. Our team has reviewed current methods for waste remediation. So it's just a one-sentence statement. This is what we've done in response to that situation. In the second case, the second bullet, this is where someone was asked to determine computing needs. So here's what he did. In one sentence, just a brief overview of what he did in response to the situation. And then remember, the final thing you do is give a preview. So what's this document about? Given the situation you're writing about, given what you've done, what are you going to say in this document? And in the case of that first paragraph we looked at, you can see that they say, well, we present alternatives and argue for soil incineration. They just give the whole message up front. In the second one, the person who was asked to look at computing needs, he just says, I give a basic criteria for what they need and identify alternatives. This way, in really 3 sentences, in both cases, just 3 quick sentences, a reader knows what situation this document is referring to, what it's about, what you did to address the situation, and a sense of what's in the document. That way they can decide, do I want to read this or do I not need to read this? And here's that first paragraph laid out with sort of some annotation. You can see the situation, the tasks, and the preview. Now you might want to pause here and take a look at this second sample and see whether you can identify the situation, the tasks, and the preview. In this case, notice it's not always that it's strictly situation, task, preview. Notice in this one, the writer starts with the situation. It takes a long time to hand calculate radiation exposure. The task this person did to reduce this workload. There's a little more reference to the situation, but again, at the end, it gets to a preview. In this report, I demonstrate the clear superiority of AI REM. So again, a good introduction for workplace, an efficient, a fast introduction, mentions the situation, gives a one-sentence statement about the kinds of tasks you did regarding the situation, and then what's going to be reported in the document. I hope you'll use this in coming reports in class, and let me know if you have questions.